sick.
Well, good evening, and of course, welcome to the Clear Skies Movement Live, TCSM Live. I am Serge Brown, and with me I have Miss Dawn.
Good evening, all.
How are we doing tonight out there in this big, beautiful virtual world?
You got Super, and it's finished.
Hola, Sue.
Human being.
Hi, it's finished. Human being. Nice to have you.
Babushka, Christy.
Oh, Babushka, Christy.
Yeah.
Tonight. It's a good night tonight. We've been having. I have been having, and I know that Babushka and Christy and LaShawn have been having some issues with X lately, and I think that they're throttling our reach, keeping us down, keeping the man is keeping us little people down.
Yeah.
But that's to be expected when you're fighting that means that we are over the target. We're fighting the good fight, baby. Today, I was taking a look at our TCSM.
Website?
Well, not our website. Oh, speaking of the website, yeah, we've got, of course, the website right there. The Dawn has gotten the website up and running.
I hope I got all the glitches out. It took me a couple days.
She's done a wonderful job. And I want you to know this. She's actually been learning on the fly to figure out how to build this. And I think that she has done a tremendous job. Well, baby, thank you very much. Really, really good job. So you can watch us live. You just click right on that and bang, it takes you to any one of our platforms right there. So we've got that, and we've got a donate button up here because it's starting to cost real world money. So if you can donate it all, absolutely, we would really appreciate it.
Or go to the merch and buy something.
Or go to the merch and buy something.
And then walk around proudly.
Exactly. Yeah, we got a lot of good merch too. I got to get back to that page. Where is our merchandise page?
You have to hit the back button.
Back button, and then all these good articles. I got to post my my latest article that we've written, and then I'm going to just go right up here, and I'm going to go shop. There we go. So, towels, and a lot of this stuff from Printify. We use Printify, and a lot of this stuff is really good quality, stuff. Yeah, we tried to pick as good as we could without, costing $100 for a T-shirt or a hoodie. I'm getting a hoodie this
winter.
This
beach
winter.
Bag too. That's pretty cool.
All right. So hats, of course, hats are always big sellers. Mm-hmm. And I've got my I don't have my mug with me tonight. I'm getting a Clear Skies Movement mug though. I have a feeling that I'm due.
Well, someone's birthday's coming up.
There we go. So
everyone listen, it's Friday.
Don't worry about that. What we worry about is tonight I want to be a little bit more positive because we've been hearing so much negative stuff. And
go ahead.
We've been hearing so much negative stuff. So I ran across this 13-year-old kid that is building a little business. You got to listen to this.
Hey, y'all, it's AJ. Starting my first business, power washing trash cans. I just power washed my first trash can, trying to make $1,000 in 30 days. At 13 years old, my first $1,000. I appreciate if y'all like, comment, and share this post, and DM me for service in Dallas, Texas. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I am. I'm absolutely, really. I'm gonna share this also. I'm gonna hire.
He's very cute. I remember those days.
Hire this young man. Yeah, I mean, just really, really good. Just hardworking, and I absolutely love that. But let's get on to a number of other things that are happening today. First of all, is there anything going on in the chat, baby, or should I just roll right into our first segment?
Just start rolling. I mean, I will say I want to thank Human Being, and it says, I love that color blue. That's why I ordered the Mystic Blue t-shirt.
There we go.
For the blue skies. So thank you for your order.
Perfect. Fantastic. And I was going to ask, how many people do we have over on Kick and Substack? Do we have anybody tonight? It's It seems like
we have 2 on our Kick, and it's
there we go. Well, how is everybody doing over there on Kick?
And we have 2. We always have 2 on
Substack?
YouTube. No, YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Oh, and so there we go. YouTube is doing a little something funny. I had a little bump, and then all of a sudden everything went away. And well, I'm not sure YouTube likes my content. But we've been having problems here on X as well. So we'll just see. We'll just keep fighting through it. And why not?
Right.
So tonight we are not leading with fear. We're going to start with a little bit of fire. You know what we've got now? We have got a lot of momentum. That's what we have with the Clear Skies movement. A spark that's caught wind across all 50 states. And we're going to kick it off with something different, something a little beautiful. Here is a clip from Glamham Radio. If you watch this lady, you're going to really want to follow her. Because while the billionaire engineering clouds are building connections, while the military-industrial complex wages war in the sky, ordinary people are tuning in and transmitting the truth. That is the one thing I really love about X. I go to X. I used to, for years, I was a Fox News fan up until this last, the last election cycle was, well, the 2020 election cycle. I had a bad taste in my mouth. Actually, in 2016, I wasn't all that happy with them either. And so I started looking for, just another regular, and I, watched the Drudge Report for a while and Breitbart News, and up until they did away with Andrew Breitbart. But Fox really just absolutely turned radical left, very, very liberal, and not even liberal. I mean, there are some great liberals out there. I'm a conservative, but it doesn't really matter. We need all kinds of thought, but we don't need companies like Fox News to change stuff. And now they're not as bad as CNN. I mean, good Lord, or MSNBC, but still, X has really proven to be the citizen reporter. I mean, it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. So that is where we're going to start. Take a look at this. Oh, hold on. You know what? It's going to help if I unmute it. I just love the way that she presents her stuff there.
Here at the Glamham Radio Channel, we've received concerns about Tropical Storm Komei, which has made landfall in Shanghai. Although Shanghai rarely sees direct hits from tropical storms, most weaken before they reach there, we'd like to assure the public that nothing unnatural was seen in the storm. Spin cycle engaged. The fact that at precisely 0700 UTC the satellite feed paused whilst a triangular cloud shadow was present is merely a coincidence. Cloud nap time. The replay of a prior satellite frame is a common data hiccup. Happens all the time. Sky lost its password. Also at 0700 UTC, Earth's Schumann resonance did spike intensely across all frequencies.
I'm just going to stop it right here because the Earth's Schumann frequency, it normally doesn't spike. We've seen this spike ever since the neutrino project has been wound up, shall we say, down there, the Raytheon project down in Project IceCube, Antarctica.
At perfectly coordinated intervals, we would like to reassure the public this was not an energy event, nor a classified atmospheric test. There are no cloaked platforms in the storm, no refraction shielding, even though such patents do exist. Those that filed them were just showing off. Rag race. The triangular shadow is simply a fascinating anomaly that has not been seen before, except earlier this year, 63 miles from Bouvet Island, and off the coast of California, and possibly Manchester. Likely a fluke of heat exchange. It is not tethered by anything like a heat plume or electromagnetic beam or high-altitude drone. Chrome-plated pigeon. Although Shanghai issued an orange alert, relocated over 280,000 people, cancelled hundreds of flights and ferries, we urge the public to remain calm. No TikToks of moisture. Do not compare timestamps nor reference Schumann resonance data, and do not say the code phrase. Fold the napkin. To conclude, there is no cloaked craft, no beam lock, no electromagnetic occlusion event. Above all, ignore the sky. Sky is under NDA.
That's right. So I just had to show you that because, well, tonight we're taking a little bit lighter of an approach. And really, she artfully exposes all of the geoengineering attack weapons, and I just think that it is very funny. So well worth the watch, and I really enjoyed that. So this movement, well, we're doing something good, and I want to think that people are listening to us like Marjorie Taylor Greene because she named her bill after the Clear Skies movement. It is the Clear Skies Act. So,
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it's kind of obvious you would pick Clear Sky.
Is it though? Why wouldn't you pick Clean Sky, or why wouldn't you pick a name that's like the anti-geoengineering bill? Okay, right.
We'll let you have it there.
So here are our wins. We've got Senator Ileana Garcia in Florida passed SB 56. We have a law that is signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Yeah. Don't think I'm not thinking about taking my show on the road. And it is enforceable. We're going to see how that works out. Monty Fritz in Tennessee, he's working on a follow-up bill for said Tennessee was the very first state last year to pass any kind of legislation that dealt with the geoengineering. And had he not broken the dam, would we be here? I mean, I think that we owe a lot to Monty Fritz. And, when I have talked to him about this, there was a lot. I mean, he really had to fight hard. Doug Mastriano up there in Pennsylvania, SB 508, they're next, and that's going to be just one heck of a bill. We've got the Kalispel tribes that and I think about 7 or 8 other tribal organizations have a Class 1 air status. That means you're not allowed to do anything within 100 miles. So
is it not happening though?
It's not happening, and we have reached out to them, and we're going to be talking to a number of tribes.
Oh,
so
will they come on?
Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. So tonight we celebrate that momentum. We shine the light, we name the names, and we rise higher than their ridiculous haze. So I also want to take a look at this. Speaking of haze. See how I did that segue? Not have that, huh?
Should have like the song Purple Haze playing.
Oh, there we go. So we've got this.
Christy says we passed a bill in Louisiana that goes in effect 8/1.
Oh, yeah.
Your birthday.
There we go. All right, quit saying that. So Vanessa Henry was, Jason and Vanessa Henry, 2 wonderful people. They were my neighbors up in, when I lived over in Washington. And she just posted these pictures of the Russia's Klucheviskoye
Gesundheit.
Yeah, exactly. Volcano erupts after a massive earthquake. Now, this was an 8.8 earthquake. Twice they upgraded it. I mean, they upgraded because they assessed the amount of damage. But that volcano now is going off, and the neutrino ice project down in Project IceCube in Antarctica is that this is what Eric Hecker talked about, is we have the power now to trigger volcanic action. We have the power to shake the planet with these earthquakes. And is that what's happening? So we're going to have to keep a look out there.
Is there a way to check when if down south the ice?
No. They've all of the reporting agencies that allow us to see, like Windy and Ventesky, and they're all so corrupt and compromised, if not built by the very people that want to keep the secret from us. So they have pulled all of that information.
That's not nice.
Yeah, they just don't let us see anything.
I could see that though.
And then here's I understand about earthquakes and tsunamis, right, babe? Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it happens all the time, but it strikes me as quizzical. See how I used a big word there, baby? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not just a man that can sing. I can use a big word. It strikes me as quizzical that the mainstream media in particular fearmongers so much. The wave that hit Midway was kind of the telling wave. That was about 1 foot 4 inches, 1.5 feet tall. This is what we get from...
Welcome to the News Hour. A major earthquake off the coast of Russia triggered widespread tsunami warnings, alerts, and evacuations all across the Pacific. It was the strongest quake on the planet since 2011 and the 6th largest ever recorded.
Moderate waves hit the shores of Hawaii and the U.S. West Coast. In South America, clear across the Pacific from where the quake happened, several countries and island territories remain on alert tonight. But so far, most of the damage has been minor and without serious injuries. Stephanie Tsai leads our coverage.
So, yes.
In far eastern Russia, one of the largest earthquakes in recorded history rattled homes and businesses. The 8.8 magnitude quake toppled parts of buildings, like the facade of this kindergarten.
So yes, there's damage, right? There's all sorts of things that happen. But yesterday, and we stayed up for it, remember? Yeah. I mean, we stayed up until about midnight or so watching...
1 in the morning.
1 in the morning, watching the waves roll in, and it was nothing. And they knew it after it hit...
Yeah, they could tell
Midway Island, right?
It's going to be. Yeah.
They certainly can, and of course, all the way from Port Angeles, Washington. We used to live right over by that in Port Townsend. Remember how beautiful that area is? It is. We watched last night as they just had red zones, and I say yes, absolutely. Warn people, don't be an idiot. Don't go down to the beach and stand there, because even a 1.5 foot wave or a 3 foot wave, and it's a series of waves, and the ocean literally rises like that. But it is almost like they were hoping that the damage would be bigger, or pushing that so people would watch, knowing full well, because they have meteorologists, right? They have scientists that actually do this. I don't understand why we don't get real information. We have ocean buoys. We know what the world is doing. We have satellites that can detect even the slightest rays in an ocean. So why do they keep fear-mongering?
There's I sent you on TikTok. I just sent it to you. It was a lady that was on a cruise ship. Their bus isn't going to make it because the cruise ship was leaving, and they were going to have to go to higher ground, and they're in Hawaii. Oh. But their family was on the boat. Like, it was chaos.
All right, let me see if I can pull that up. I think I got it right here. All right, here we go. What is she saying? Well, we'll find out.
So we made it to the port, but the ship is leaving. The ship is leaving, and now we are going to higher ground. And people are upsetting in their spaghetti. And this is not me making light of the situation. This is me just saying it's crazy. It's chaos. Nobody knows what's going on. Our bus driver had no idea what was happening. People on the ship, we have family on the ship. They're terrified for us. We're terrified for us. We're going to be going to higher ground now. I'll keep you posted about what's happening.
But their family left.
So, well, here's the thing.
Not their family, the whole ship.
That's a good picture. I should just leave that up. So the whole ship leaves because the harbor master, right, the Navy or the Coast Guard, they say ships got to go.
Yeah.
And you need enough time to get everybody out of the harbor before that wave comes in. So you want them on the open ocean because definitely. It'll just pass underneath you like a little bump. Sometimes people don't even know. I mean, but now, of course, the Poseidon adventure, that's a whole different story. But that was a rogue wave. Those do massive damage out of the open sea. But we have this, this thing that says, all right, we need to get the ships out, because even a 3 foot or a 1 foot wave coming in at the speed that it does, it can do a lot of damage in the harbor and push those boats up onto land.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just guess there wasn't enough time to get the rest of that bus on.
Yeah, I mean, when the ship has to leave, it has to leave. Pull the passerelle, we're out of here.
LaShawn says they want us all living in fear so they can control us, just like when they put all the daily COVID numbers on the news nonstop.
Literally every day for years,
right?
they were pushing that ridiculous fake COVID story, and they knew they were killing people with remdesivir. Having that put into your body. I mean, immediately when you get to the hospital. And people went to the hospital because they're afraid, not necessarily because they were sick, and then dumped onto the ventilator. You got 3 days before your lungs are horrifically damaged. You spend any more than a week on a ventilator, you're not coming off. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. I don't know why, but we are having some problem getting...
LaShawn says, but we're not falling for their shenanigans anymore.
No, LaShawn, you're exactly right. We are not. So I'm trying to get this video loaded.
Human Being said we had a quake here in Greensville, South Carolina, a few months ago.
Oh, did you?
Everything shook in my kitchen. Weird.
Yeah, earthquakes. I was in the 1964 earthquake. Now, this earthquake was huge that hit Russia, and that was an 8.8. The one that hit Alaska was a 9.2.
Yeah.
From an 8.8 to an 8.9, it is 10 times as strong. From an 8.0 to a 9.0, it's 100 times stronger, right?
Yeah.
And so from an 8.8 to a 9.2, that's 40 times strong, more powerful than it would be if you got a poke in the butt with the frozen fish.
Super said, I noticed more people are walking around oblivious and happy. They stopped watching the news. They had no idea about the earthquake today, etc.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's I'll tell you. I mean, we don't really watch the news at all.
No. X is our news.
Yeah, I watch a lot of X. X and YouTube really are probably my two go-to, and then I read a lot on Substack. I absolutely, babe, I love Substack. No. I've never been a Rumble fan. I just can't get used to it. I don't know. It's there's something about it that just kind of irritates me. What else are they saying over there?
Beckham said New York had an earthquake a year or two ago. My couch shook, but I didn't spill any of my beer.
Victim, that is the important part. That's the takeaway right there.
Winner,
well, that's exactly right. Winner, chicken dinner. You didn't spill your beer. And at the cost of beer these days, I remember when you could buy a 6-pack for a couple of bucks. Now a 6-pack's $10.
No, it's more than that.
Oh, good God. Well,
when was the last time you bought a 6-pack?
Been a while. It's been a while. Take a look at this wild weather right here. This is interesting.
Hurry up. Hurry. Come look. Look at it. Look.
Oh my God.
Look.
Oh my Lord.
What is that?
Yeah, it's a cloud.
Shit.
It's like a long cloud.
It's not.
Holy shit! Look at that.
That's not a fire.
I don't know.
Like from a fire, or is that actually a
no?
cloud?
That's a cloud that showed up in somebody's area there.
Wow.
It's coming. Wind's starting to blow. Is that weird? That is so cool.
It's on the table. Get my phone. It's on the table.
And then, of course, we have all of these iridescent clouds and stuff that are showing up. It's
that's just bizarre.
Yeah,
looks like the end of is coming.
Yeah, the end times right there, babe.
Yeah, it doesn't look nice.
It certainly does not look nice. All right, well, let's move on because we got a lot to talk about tonight. Corruption. And one of the reasons that I talk about corruption and not just corruption when it comes to geoengineering is for this reason. We have to make sure that we understand that corruption is the way that our government is run. And it is the way that NGOs make money. And it is the way that trillions of dollars every year are drained out of the public trough. That means your and my bank account in paying taxes. So if we don't like that, then what we need to do is start making some changes. But here we have a little Josh Hawley making a statement.
Opportunity here today to do something that the public has wanted us to do for decades, and that is to ban members of Congress from profiting on information that, frankly, only members of Congress have in the buying and selling of stock. 86% of Americans say that members of Congress should not be able to buy and sell shares of stock, individual stock, while they are members of this body, and they are absolutely correct. And the reason is, you can see it, there was just another ethics referral in the House last week. We've seen the former Speaker of the House make millions of dollars in profits. We've seen members of both parties, I'm sad to say, be investigated for their stock trades. And the reason for all of this is that, quite frankly, members of this body are privy to information that the normal person just is not. Now, is that insider trading? It is not under the laws. Sometimes people say, well, we already have insider trading laws. We don't need a stock ban. Well, the information that members of Congress are privy to is technically not covered by the insider trading laws, but nobody really believes that the information that we get isn't valuable. It is quite valuable, which is why back during COVID, you saw members of Congress of both parties engage in a flurry of stock trading right after they were getting COVID briefings. Were members of the public getting those briefings? They were not. Were members of the public privy to the kind of information that was being given to members of Congress? No, they were not. And so when you look at what members of Congress are privy to, what they are able to trade on, the access that they have, it's just qualitatively different than your average Joe or Jane, which is why we ought to put into place common sense guardrails that say, if you want to be a member of Congress, you can put you want to save, great. You can buy mutual funds, you can buy broadly diversified investment vehicles. You should not be able to buy and trade individual stock shares in which, frankly, we have an interest in the work that we do. We have information that no other people get, no other members of the public have. This bill would finally redress that.
So that is the Pelosi Act. Yeah, you think
how they call it the Pelosi Act.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely funny. And so, speaking of Pelosi, then we have her interview here.
Well, let me just read what he said. I'm sorry that we had some sort of technical issue. Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
Yeah, but I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that had been made over time. I'm not into it. My husband is, but it isn't anything to do with anything insider. But the president has his own exposure, so he's always projecting. He's always projecting. And let's not give him any more time on that, please. We're going forward here, and I'm very proud of my family. And while he might make fun of us, while somebody inspired by him breaks into our home and hits my husband in a deadly fashion, hits my husband over the head, and he thinks that's a riot. I'd rather not go into some of my other complaints about him right now, rather to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid.
So talk about deflecting. Baby, do you think that she answered that? Do we have confidence now that it's not her, it's her husband? There's no way he can get access to the information that she runs out of those committee hearings with.
I always love her hand gestures.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. So here's what's interesting. The Congress is so successful in trading, better than anybody else on the planet. And I mean people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? She came in with a net worth of about minus $35,000, and now she's worth millions. And part of that is her investment portfolio. Dan Crenshaw is one of the worst, one of the biggest what am I trying to say? Offenders. There we go. Dan Crenshaw is one of the biggest offenders when it comes to insider trading with the information that he gets. But Unusual Whales is a company that tracks all of the data, the trading data of everybody in Congress. And then you can go and make those exact same trades, and voila. All of a sudden, you don't need an investment counselor. You've got insider information, and they do it in, I think, almost real time. I forget. Babe, do you remember how it goes? Anyways, just thought I'd give you that little tidbit of information there, because it is true. Now, Dawn.
LaShawn says she's so disgusting. Her husband was hanging out with homeless boys.
Oh my God. And I mean, how many times has he been pulled over, arrested for having, not arrested, pulled over? We've got, I think, 2 or 3 videos over the last number of years of him with very young men, drugs on them, methamphetamine in particular, and having a good old time. I'm sure that he's not rolling in the hay with Nancy. I think he is rolling in the hay with Nathan. See what I did there, babe? So let's see. We've got this video. Now this, I watched this today, and Miss Dawn just sent this to me, and these 2 kids in their science class just created a tornado. So you think if they can do this, right there, wouldn't you be able to, if you had trillions of dollars, you couldn't do this? You couldn't make all this crazy, destructive, dangerous weather? I mean, we're getting it today. I mean, we've just been sprayed like crazy here in Boise today.
Look at that. I mean, that's a tornado.
That is a tornado right there. I mean, it's just, it is truly remarkable that people still think that our government does not affect the weather, does not play weather wars with us.
Oh, look at all that water.
I mean, it really is fascinating that you have 2 kids
just made a tornado.
Making a tornado right in the room. There we go. Mom,
I'm surprised.
I need more dry ice for my tornado.
It'd be cool if you start seeing things get stuck in it and flying. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Jesus, is that a hand?
Car!
bring a little Tonka truck in and see if it'll get caught up in it.
Oh, my goodness. That is so right. But isn't that the truth? We have all of this just ridiculous ridiculous
stuff.
stuff.
I don't really think all these tornadoes we've been having has been natural.
I don't think it is either. I really don't think it is either. I think that even though the weather, like the weather, here we go. I mean, we've got so much crazy weather going on here. I listen to this guy quite a bit because he's pretty good.
Especially with your heat index value. So it's going to start tomorrow for Thursday with your heat index value. It's going to start building, and you will lose this by the Carolinas and by Florida throughout the week. But you can see your feels like temperature is still going to be over 100 to over 105 degrees for multiple areas for tomorrow. As we go through Friday, here it comes for Friday, coming even lower through the Ohio Valley, out through the Northeast, bringing those 50s along with it.
So you see what the weather manipulation is. I mean, if you looked at this chart, and I was watching Sue Pear the other night. Sue, how we doing tonight, by the way? She is fantastic at this next rad radar firing. But what they're doing is they're pulling this cold air down at this time of the year. we're going to watch these temperatures go from 108, 105, 110 degrees down into the 60s, 70s, and along this line, right, as that comes down, I think that we're going to see incredible storms. And then you take Rainmaker out there and you have his drones fly up and you see those clouds. And now you have very dangerous flooding, because flooding in anything, the water, that earthquake, as bad as it was, probably didn't do much human damage. The human cost is paid in water, in floods. And that's why the tsunamis, I mean, they do all of the mortal damage. Yeah. We're going to see the same thing. We are absolutely being played here. And Donald Trump knows it. This is what absolutely pisses me right the F off, is that we could stop this. We could stop this geoengineering war
with a swipe of a pen.
Just go right ahead and do it. And then let them sue him. And then when they sue, you start exposing that rotten core of...
Why would they sue them? I mean, why would he,
Well, Donald Trump wouldn't sue him.
No, I mean, why would they sue? Like, it's like,
because it's a multi-trillion-dollar a year.
Now you're admitting that, we spray it and we want to do it.
Exactly. And if it ever came to that, it won't, because I hate to say this, but obviously Donald Trump knows that this is going on. He can't not know at this point. You've got a sitting Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, putting up a bill to stop this exact thing. He knows.
We got to talk to her and make that bill better, though.
Yeah, we do. We have to tighten the language up. Susan Clark. That's the woman to do it. So here we have.
Delivery driver says the geoengineering people are playing God.
They are. Here's the problem: is it's going to get away from them. We simply don't have enough control over the weather and over Mother Nature.
Yeah, you don't know what she's going to do.
You have no idea. Yeah, absolutely no idea. I mean, what is a bridge too far? Where's the tipping point? But is that? And tell me in the chat. I'd love to hear this in the chat. Do you guys think that is the point, that they being the United States government and the governments around the world, right? We know the Chinese are doing it. We know the Germans are doing it. We know that, good Lord. I mean, I just talked to a party in the UK, and they haven't seen the sun in like 6 months. I mean, right. She's just like, people are just completely depressed here. But I believe that England is lost. I don't think that there is much of a chance that England's, first of all, going to survive the Muslim invasion war. And I don't have anything against Muslims. I have everything against the agenda, taking people who do not assimilate into a community or a society, knowing full well that they will bring their life, their approach, and force everybody into that. Otherwise, they're going to this is what happened to Syria. I mean, we saw it right there. Bang! It happens. I mean, it happens every 10 years in Afghanistan. I mean, Afghanistan is constantly in a war. It's happening between the India and Pakistan, two gigantic nuclear powered states. So,
yeah. DPSF 98 says Australia is close to being lost too.
Oh my God. I'll tell you, I worry about Australia. I do think that government of Australia is so heavily compromised. Every single one of them have got to be a pedophile and thefting the government blind, because they walk in lockstep. There's not anybody that is over there saying, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't chase people down and involuntarily inject them with an mRNA that changes their body. I don't know.
There's a question. No, not a question, but JSHW says, tonight I keep getting Amber Alert types alerts on my TV with the red scrolling information with the screeching noise. Has anyone ever heard that these are actually nefarious signals affecting those in the vicinity of the TV? Sounds crazy, but nothing shocks me anymore.
Nothing shocks me either. I haven't gotten it, but
there is a horrible sound when you get an Amber Alert. It's like I get it. You're supposed to make you look at the TV, but I think if you're already have the TV on and you're watching it, you don't need that terrible sound.
Are they actually Amber Alerts, or are they alerts for something else?
I think that's what she's saying.
Yeah, that's so. It'll be interesting. Tell us what kind of alerts they are. You know, what are they telling you about bad weather or danger or move to higher ground or tsunami coming? Or are they Amber Alerts? I'd be interested to know.
I think this is back to Trump, but DPSF 98 says Susie Wiles keeps a lot from him, but he may be part of the uniparty.
Hey, listen, Donald Trump runs his presidency just like he runs his business. So he picked Susie Wiles because he went through this before. And I think that Donald Trump seriously is trying to clear out the deep state. Is Susie Wiles part of the deep state? That remains to be seen, but I do have my questions. So, all right, let's make a little pivot. Now let's get into something strange, something wild, something getting a lot of traction online, actually. There's a viral theory that the Raytheon IceCube facility in Antarctica is not a neutrino detector, but an earthquake weapon. And the claims from Eric Hecker, a former Raytheon contractor, who says he saw green beams and felt unnatural seismic shifts while stationed in the South Pole. And I'll say this, we don't like when they silence whistleblowers, but we don't suspend logic either. So let's take a look at the facts. The Ice Neutrino Observatory was built by the University of Wisconsin with a passive system of 5,160 optical sensors about the size of a basketball or larger, buried in the ice. That is to detect neutrinos, not emit, not beam, not trigger earthquakes. Or was it? The quakes we do see in Antarctica, like in Marie Byrd Land, are tied to volcanic activity under the ice shelf. That's documented by peer-reviewed geologists and seismologists, but not defense contractors turned influences. So what do? Well, we name Raytheon. We applaud Eric Hecker. We honor curiosity, but we want to demand data. Now, I know that it's a black project, and like we talked last night, we've got $4.7 trillion just missing because they did not put a number. They did not code it properly at all. Actually, they didn't even try to code it. So we don't know where it came from, where it went to, and where it is now. And I'm sure that, much of that money went into the pockets of you're very wealthy, you're very powerful. BlackRock comes to mind too, right? Fink over there. They don't call him Fink for Larry Fink for nothing. You think Fink is by accident? No, they're telegraphing. So if that Ice Neutrino project was ever used for nefarious purposes, you better believe that this audience is going to absolutely want to know, right, babe?
Exactly.
So I say we start hunting down as much information as we can, because now, here's what's interesting. It's starting to look like we have an earthquake season. Am I wrong?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's going on? Why are we having so many big earthquakes too? I don't know. What are they saying in the chat there, babe?
Victim said on the beach yesterday there was a loud soul-shaking I can't even say the word. And a pitched frequency sound for about 15 minutes with no air, water, or land vehicles in sight.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Did you ever find out what it was, or it's just...
I'd be very interested to hear what it was.
And then Texas Mexicana went back to the Muslim thing. She said, sorry, but I have a cousin who married into the Islam and converted, and she is just brainwashed now, extremely.
We see it all the time. We absolutely see it all the time. There is so much of the Muslim faith, and I'm not a religious man, right? I applaud anybody for what religions that they follow. And I have known that there can be some wonderful people that follow the Muslim faith, but at an arm's length. It's this pray 5 times a day. Do not think for yourself. Your imam will tell you what to do. And it's the fact that Muhammad was a woman-hating misogynist that wrote in the Quran, you got to beat your wife and your children 5, 6, 10 times a week. You have to. Make sure that they know that you're the boss. Hate those women.
Let's not talk about that. Back to the weather. Back to something positive.
Oh, back to something positive. I wanted to show you guys this. I came across this the other day, and this is a fire. And see what he just did there? Now that's a marker. So let's just watch this again.
That was a marker.
Yep, that's. Oh, there we go. Well, somehow I messed that up. I was trying to stop it, but that's a marker. But you see how he turned that on and turned it off instantly.
Yeah. So
they
can't say like we don't have
the technology, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just here we go. There it is. Oh, is it? Oh, where's the sound of this thing? So right there we have just proof that we have jet nozzles that can create spray of some kind. We don't know what that is, but it's obviously a marker. Now imagine that you're 30, 40, 60, 80,000 feet in the air, and you have a combination of heavy metals and gases that you are turning on that then activate, with the fly ash that's in the jet fuel, and all of a sudden you've got the ability to completely cover the sky. It's, I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was very interesting. What do you guys in the chat think?
What's that pink stuff? Is that a chemical?
Fire retardant.
Oh, is it poisonous? All the
I would find it hard to believe that it's not poisonous.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Mary Maga says it can also be GPS programmed when, where, amount, etc.
Exactly. So, we've got the spraying. We've got the technology. We've got graphene oxide that we know that they can send a signal to graphene oxide to build nano robots inside your body. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. We've got the ICE neutrino project down in the south. We've got HARP. We've got 4G. We have 5G. We have NextRad, Doppler. And can I ask you guys this? This is one of the driest years I think I have ever felt. I mean, there's no moisture left around here. Now, Boise, yes, is a desert. But normally, I mean, the last couple of years that we have been here,
we had some good rainy days.
And not just rainy days, but it wasn't just absolutely desert, and I mean Sahara desert dry.
Yeah.
I mean, baby, am I right or am I right?
Yeah, I haven't. But it's funny because it's always cloudy here because it's not real clouds.
Yeah.
So everyone does think, is it going to rain? No, that's not a rain cloud.
Yeah, Raphael O'Neill, NOLA Butterfly, tells me that the technology of the Doppler radar, it draws in all the moisture and then sends it up into the atmosphere and creates supersaturated regions. And the more moisture that you have up in the sky, the more you can control the weather. I mean, that obviously, if you've listened to this program at all, you know that that is the basis of all of this technology, is affecting that. And those ripples that you see in the sky, imagine that somebody just threw a gigantic pebble upside down into the sky and it hits those regions with those clouds, and that's why you see all those ripples. Well, what they're hitting it with is not a gigantic stone, but they are hitting it with radiation. Radiation cooks you and me also, and not just you and me. Kills the birds, kills the bees, kills the frogs, kills the insects, it kills the bacteria. So these are the things that we need to really start hunting down. And I was thinking the other day that it would be really nice if we could start sections of the Clear Skies movement, have groups of people that start studying a particular area.
Oh, and then they can come on and talk about it.
Exactly.
That's
so
cool.
Somebody study, what does NextRad do to bird navigation or whale navigation or whatever, right? Are you a marine biologist? Are you just curious? Do you read a lot? Do you study? You don't have to have a degree. All you have to do is have curiosity and hunt down this information. And then we can see just exactly what is going on, because I think that once we start hunting down each one of these areas, we can gain a phenomenal amount of control and information. And then we can start writing this stuff into the bills. That you cannot do that. And one of the things that I want to show you is aluminum hydroxide. I know I talk about aluminum oxide a bit, but aluminum hydroxide is a compound found in coal fly ash. We know that coal fly ash is used. Strontium, barium, cadmium, the whole gamut, right? Aluminium, but we rarely talk about the hydroxide. And what that does is it works as an adjuvant, right? It allows stuff to be carried in it. And when we're talking about companies that are now using RNA to gas the fields, crop dust, RNA that changes human DNA, you need something to carry that. Aluminum hydroxide, you still get all the dangers of the aluminum, your body simply doesn't run properly, right? If you're putting on weight, if you can't think, brain fog, if you have Parkinson's or dementia or heart problems, right? Because aluminum, it really gets in and infects just about everything. Very heavy metal. And then when you're using an RNA, is that what they're spraying up there? Are they using this now to transhumanize our species? It warrants asking the questions. I'm gonna see who we can get on as a guest to talk about this also.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What are they saying over there in the chat?
Beckham said a while back, it says, no idea, but the frequency clouds were wild there. There were what appeared to be remote-controlled planes spraying trails and doing tricks.
Yeah, yesterday when I was doing the show, when I looked out, they had put this real wavy line, lots of straight lines, and then a wavy line up above those straight lines. And what we need is a camera that we can point out the window so I can just switch right to that and say, hey, look, they're doing it again.
Delivery driver every time when he comes on goes, just checking how it's getting Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene on the interview on this show. He's just reminding you, keep trying.
Oh my goodness. I send emails, I make phone calls. It absolutely goes. They don't even send back a go to hell. Not a thank you, we received your message, nothing. And it's because our government realizes that they don't have to answer to you and me. Well, we need to make a spectacle of ourselves. and show them for who they really are. And I think that sooner or later, maybe this week, we can put together an email and phone call campaign to Marjorie Taylor Greene's office.
Yeah.
We put a couple thousand or more, 10,000 calls and emails saying, hey, why aren't you talking to us?
Yeah.
We want this bill to be effective, and it's not because the language is too loose. There.
Exactly.
So I think that's, it warrants looking into.
Definitely. Let's see. Worries me. Yes, the brown shell, they come out of stay wherever they climb out, and I have lots this year. I don't know what we're talking. Oh, they were all talking about birds, and they're not seeing a lot of they see a lot of wasps. Nicole said she has a lot of wasps, but hardly any bees and butterflies. So, yeah, they're all dying.
I remember when you used to be able to walk in the grass and you would get stung by a bee because bees are down there pollinating the dandelions. Now you don't see dandelions anymore. They're killing that amazing plant. But also,
Roundup.
Yeah, exactly. But now the bees are just seem to be absolutely gone. And I mean, we've seen like one little tiny spider here in the year that we've been. You'd think that there would be more insect life around. Where are the ants, baby? Do we see ants anymore?
Yeah,
Anything? I mean,
just mentioned that they don't see ants hardly at all anymore.
Normally, by this time in the summer, we also have like this fly population that will.
Yeah, flies aren't bad this summer.
Just nothing is alive anymore. That is worrisome. And like we know, I think, was it Derek that told us that 60% of the plankton in the ocean is,
one of them, Derek,
gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mary Mago, you're right. Worms. I haven't seen worms. Like I used to see birds we don't get rain here, but after a good rainstorm, birds would be always pulling out worms in the grass.
Yeah, because the worms come up, right?
So I don't know where you guys get lots of rain. Do you see your birds pulling worms out?
Is anybody getting regular rain, or are we now just getting the Rainmaker Incorporated saturated cloud seeding dump of rain, and has that changed? I think that is. That really is the question right there. We're going to see with these storms. I think we're going to have storms coming this week. These enormous temperature spikes down in the south and all the way to the East Coast. That's not normal either. I mean, we really need to gear up, start calling Marjorie Taylor Greene, start emailing, tell her that I want to talk to her, and let's go get this done.
And maybe being on the Maha panel thing that you're on, you can eventually get her attention.
Exactly. I'll leverage that, and I'll leverage the hell out of that. I reached out to Tony Lyons and asked him, hey, can I make a presentation on this? Because I wouldn't mind being sandwiched right in the middle between Russell Brand and Anthony Robbins, and then there's Serge Brown. I got something to talk to you about. I'll tell you that right now.
Jan, our chat in Substack, someone just said, Jan Howard said, no rain in Lewiston.
Oh,
Lewiston
really?
is sprayed 3 times a day.
Wow.
Not cool.
We've got, please help, Americans that are being poisoned. Millions of colonies of bees. It's so concerning at this point. And when we know that the very rich and the very wealthy are building these 10-year bunkers that they can live underground for 10 years, they'll eat their own. I mean, those societies will become so vicious soon. I give 10 months before those societies turn into absolute dictatorships where the military, those with guns underground with these very wealthy people, they're going to be nothing but slaves to the people with the weapons. There's none of them can survive without eating their own, tearing each other apart.
We need the bees.
We need the bee's knees.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right.
What's your closing statement there, Mr. Brown?
I'm not sure I have a closing statement tonight.
Oh.
It's
no, I thought it was supposed to be an uplifting thing.
Well, I thought it was uplifting. I mean, we're marching forward. We've got a national bill. We've got state bills. We've got 34 states that have these bills. You don't think that is a huge accomplishment? Not you, baby, but yeah. I mean, that's enormous. Just in the last 6 months, we have seen the whole of America come alive writing bills because this is something that the American people want. Now, are we experiencing all of this affected weather because our government knows that if we distract the American people with horrible weather, if we destroy where they live, then they won't be all that willing to pass these bills, so we can't do it? Well, that brings us up to the end of our evening.
It went so fast tonight.
It really did.